So today we're doing the sevens of the tarot. So that's the Chariot, Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, Seven of Cups, Seven of Swords. But I will review last week and I'll just go through the sides pretty quickly. But I did add slides for the aces through to now. So I hope that is going to be something that you guys will enjoy viewing. And I will screen share that in just a second. So may I ask, just as getting to know each other, what inspired you initially to look into tarot? May I ask?
Um, Linda used to go to a tarot class, and the girl that she used to go with decided not to go anymore. So I decided I'd go in her place.
Oh, perfect. I'm glad. Yeah. Good.
I've always been interested. I'm doing astrology courses right now, but I'm finding tarot much easier than astrology.
Absolutely.
I'm doing progressions right now, but I've been doing astrology for a year now.
Wow. Yeah, astrology has a lot of facets to it that are usually directly connected to what we're experiencing on Earth. So, like when Jupiter went retrograde in Scorpio in the tropical astrology, that's when the Me Too movement happened.
Right.
And Jupiter amplifies. So, and Scorpio is about mystery and secrets and sex, and those are like the key three things about Scorpio. So when that happened, Jupiter made those concerns in our worldview bigger and more magnified in the media.
Jupiter is abundant. Yeah.
Yeah, and it will bring luck and change to
Yeah.
whatever sign it's in.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. So thank you all for being here. Anybody else have any introductions or any kind of interesting thing they want to say about tarot before we get into the slideshow?
How many of you are obsessed with collecting decks?
I have, let's see, how many decks? I have probably around 70 decks between tarot and oracle.
Wow.
You're there. You got me beat.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't counted in a long time though. Maybe it's less now. I don't know. I don't know. It'll probably be more than not
Wow.
what I just said, but more than I thought maybe like a year ago. I mean, I find that Etsy is good for decks. Sometimes they're on the more expensive side, but you can get a lot of cool indie decks from Etsy and a lot of, more mass market works from Amazon too.
Mhm.
So, yeah. So let's dive in to this. Let's see, share screen. Oh, my cat out there sounds so sad. He's like, where are you? He's like,
Oh Lord, did I just lock my dog out? He'll have a cat.
meow.
Damn it, cat.
Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Yeah.
Now,
Okay.
My cat decided to fall all over the table, and now he's sitting on my cards.
Okay, let me know. Let's see. This is okay. Can you guys see Tarot Tuesdays screen?
Yes.
mhm.
Perfect. Okay, so wow, let's go. Let's quickly review. Just we know what tarot is. That's a set of 78 cards that are here to guide us through our spiritual awakening or just any kind of question. Usually can be covered by any number of tarot cards. Any question you have. The Magician, so magical manifestation. Just sometimes it's considered to be somebody who's not as reputable, but that's only if it's negatively aspected. So the Magician is just skillful manifestation. Ace of Pentacles. Remember, I'm going to the seven, so I'm just quickly reviewing all these. Ace of Pentacles, gift of abundance and prosperity. All the aces are a gift from the universe. That's why you see that hand coming out of the cloud. Ace of Wands, a gift of new positive beginnings and new projects. Ace of Cups. By the way, this recording will be available later. Ace of Cups, gift of love and self-love, beginning of a relationship. Ace of Swords, new truth, new ideas, new inspirations. The Wheel of Fortune, and I added this in because it's a 10, so it's a 1 when you break it down. 1 plus 0 is 1. So that's good things on repeat, getting positive results. Luck is on your side with the Wheel of Fortune. And just know that Lady Luck is definitely turning in your favor. If it's upside down, maybe just look at your risk taking and see, do I want to take this risk? Do I want to invest in this property or whatever you're doing? For each card, we've been doing this. I put this slide in between each of the groupings of the numbers. So with the Magician and the Aces and the Wheel of Fortune, name that card. The Magician card may be the card Manifester, or the card Magus, or the card Magi, or the name of Co-Creation is another one you can put for that. The Wheel of Fortune, you could put Destiny, things like that. So, going through these songs or quotes, I mean, I can think of so many like aces, like the Ace of Cups, you could think of many different love songs for that. The Ace of Swords might be a quote for that, might be or like a manifestation affirmation. Maybe I am receiving new inspired ideas all the time. Okay. And then the High Priestess, remember, this is piggybacking off of what Michelle did. So Michelle did the aces through the 4s, and then I picked up with the 5s, and last week the 6s, and now we're doing the 7s tonight. So the High Priestess is all about intuition and femininity and psychic ability. The 2 of Pentacles is all about balance and looking at work and play and how you can be responsible with balancing those out. Financial hardship sometimes is here too. 2 of Wands, good collaborations, working with others, using other people's platforms, partners to share the workload. Very cool. See how he's holding the world in his hands. It's almost like he's going through a portal because he's standing between those wands. Okay. 2 of Cups, true love. I mean, look at these people. They're coming together. This man, this woman, it can be any gender or race or whatever, it doesn't matter. They're coming together in union with one another. This could also be a partnership in business that really unites, seemingly disconnected people into a harmonious union. So for example, if I want to work with an artist on a deck that I'm creating, which I am creating a deck, I'm at my 70th sonnet, poem out of 78 cards. I'm writing a card for each. I'm writing a poem for each card. I might want to work with an artist whose aesthetic is not something that I am really drawn to, but then they end up having really cool ideas for the deck, for artistry with that. So that may be something where the 2 of Cups comes in. 2 of Swords, truce, peace, crossroads. This woman is blinded, but it looks like she put the blindfold on by herself, for herself, to make that choice between 2 options, or however many she's got going on in that crossroads. Justice, it's the 11, so it's 1 plus 1. In some decks, the Strength and Justice cards will be reversed because of that on. So the 8 and the 11, so Strength and Justice, it might be Justice 8 and Strength 11. Just depends on some during virtue decks. Do that for each card. So the High Priestess and the 2s and Justice. The High Priestess card might be called Wisdom, might be called Book of Life, because she's the keeper of the Akashic records. And what does Spirit want me to know with the 2s? How can I partner with someone strategically to achieve my goals? Does anybody have any thoughts on the 2s or the High Priestess or Justice card before we go on? No? Okay, and this will all be available later, I promise. Okay, and then the Empress card, the 3, financial abundance, pregnancy and birth, fertile ideas, divine motherhood, just being really abundant with your thoughts and your manifestations. 3 of Pentacles, carrying on with working with other people, collaborating. That might be the adverb is collaboratively. 3 of Wands, manifestation, waiting for your shifts to come in, knowing that you are making positive strides in the direction of your dreams. 3 of Cups, this is the triple goddess card for me, the maiden, the mother, and the crone. Just like, Son and Father and Holy Spirit, there's a feminine trinity, not just a masculine trinity. And the 3 of Cups is a celebratory card, usually with weddings and such. 3 of Swords, lessons learned for sure, because this is the heartbreak card. And when this is in reverse, this could easily mean that you're pulling out of it, that you're healing from heartbreak. And in the context of the reading, even if it is upright and you're working with uprights and reversals, you can see that there's healing depending on the cards surrounding the 3 of Swords. So if a card near it is like the King of Pentacles, then you know that the healing from this heartache is beckoning this person that you're reading for, or you or whatever, toward more abundance and material gain with the King of Pentacles, just as an example. The Hangman, spiritual development, seeing things from a different perspective. This is the 12, so 1 plus 2 goes with the 3s. Improved divination, psychic ability. This person literally has to hang upside down for enlightenment, which I think is very interesting. And then so with a memory, for example, I may remember my first experience with my mother with the Empress card, with the Hanged Man. A song might be, can anybody think of a song for changing your perspective? Like, one I'm thinking of, She's So High by Todd Bachman. That's a good song because like he's putting her up on a pedestal, and that might be a good Empress card too, because it's a divine feminine energy, because he does mention Aphrodite in the song, and Aphrodite / Venus is the image in the Empress card. Okay, Emperor, remember this is all review, so that's why I'm going a little quickly. So this is the partner to the Empress traditionally. This is fatherly authority energy, male relative social standing. 4 of Pentacles, the guy's got a pentacle over his heart, a coin over his heart, so that could imply that maybe he's a little guarded, really close to the nose with money, miserly even. 4 of Wands, this is the honeymoon card, this is the milestone card, this is the 1111 card with the 4 wands in the scene there. So this could mean red pill or blue pill, like in the Matrix. You choose to know the truth about reality, or you keep living in the dream world, right? 4 of Cups, get clearer on what you want. Dissatisfaction and boredom and unhappiness are keywords here. 4s are about stability, but they're also about rest. So that makes sense because this guy's meditating while the universe is offering him a cup. He's deciding to continue in rest and meditation mode. 4 of Swords, self-care, time spent alone, much needed rest. This is the recuperation card, and it goes pretty much well beside the 4 of Cups with that. Imagine the 3 of Swords and then the 4 of Swords, right? So it goes in order like that. So the 3 of Swords was heartache, and the 4 of Swords is the rest and recuperation and the respite from all that. Death, 1 plus 3 is 4, so this goes with the 4s. This is blessings in disguise, positive endings. This is transformation. This could be radical change, or this could just be a change of outlook, which can be radical. For the name that card, death, the death card could be so many different. I'm thinking of like Evanescence, My Immortal, that kind of sad, emotive song, emo, whatever. And what does Spirit want me to know with the 4s? Evaluate your foundation. So look at where your structure is. Like the 4 of Wands, that was a structure card because it was a honeymoon, it was happy family. The structure is there. It's not like you're going to go get married and then you don't have a place to live when you come back from the honeymoon, right? There's that set regimented, like knowing of like, hey, when this celebration's over, I'm still gonna have a life after this, right? Hierophant, this is the fifth card, the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Fool through the Hierophant, the High Priest. This is tradition and marriages and all that. 5 of Pentacles, this is being left out in the cold, feeling abandoned, but knowing that they're right outside the Hierophant's church in this card. The Hierophant's church is right there. He could easily let them in, and hopefully he does. 5 of Wands, this is like ego battles. This is like conflict that is rooted in just a lot of times sportsmanship. This is a sportsmanship type of card. This could be like the Olympics or something. So there's that. 5 of Cups. The 2 cups are upright behind this person, and she is not noticing them. He's noticing the 3 cups overturned, so the loneliness needs to be tempered with the reality that you have people in your life who love you, and that, sorrow can be rectified. All of these fives are about transformation and transition and change that is noticeable right away. 5 of Swords, this is a win or lose card. This is like, well, somebody's got to be the victor here. I don't know if I could ever let it be someone other than me. So this is about defeat and failure, but it's also about, taking a stance for the truth, because these swords are about truth. I mean, look at the word sword, right? SWORD. That's an anagram for words. So communication, speak your truth. Swords and words, same letters. Temperance, 1 + 4 = 5. Pure contentment, a peaceful home life, the end of arguments, balance and integration, and connecting together with your angels, since there's an angel depicted in this card. And then, is anybody like lost or anything? Let me know. Just keep me up to date. Does anybody have any questions so far as I go into the last week and this week's lessons? No? Okay. So temperance, action phrase might be integration, or I am balancing my life now, or I am moderate in all things I do. I do not tend to look at extremes. I practice moderation. The
Which
Lovers.
I think is hilarious because she's a Sagittarius.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, temperance is something that we'll talk about as I get more in depth with Tarot Tuesdays and not just the surface. We're going to look at the zodiac and astrology and all that and connected with tarot and numerology. So yes, temperance is the card of Sagittarius. Thank you for saying that. And we'll get more into that. I don't want to overwhelm, because when I did the Tarot for Beginners class, the 2 hours on Friday, I covered every single card in 2 hours. And I had, thank you, and I had multiple decks all in order ready to show on screen during a slideshow too, and that was a lot. But thank you for that. The Lovers, this is, attraction, connection, soulmates, twin flames, like a lot. And you can be a soulmate with somebody who's not your lover, by the way. That term has kind of been brought in to include like your pet or your child or your teacher. I mean, I feel like I'm a soulmate to my reverend, because we're soul triad family. And that to me makes a lot of sense. But usually the lovers do, work with romantic love, but not all the time. It could be partnership, could be deciding to choose love. 6 of Pentacles, reciprocity, give and take, equal balancing of like what you put in, you get out, and vice versa. Others around you are being charitable, you're being charitable. Just make sure that you're not giving to the point that you're losing yourself in the process, and give what is needed, not necessarily all that is wanted. Be prudent with that. 6 of Wands, this is victory. Again, with the sixes are about balance, and the balance between the heavens and the earth, the macrocosm and the microcosm. So the 6 of Wands could easily be about like, well, I just served in the war. This person in this image just served in the war, committed himself to that pursuit, and now he's reaping the benefit, reaping what he's been sowing by receiving all this applause from his fans and his beloved, who's out in the audience welcoming him home. So that's where the victory comes in. Six of Cups, reigniting the past, getting a second chance. This is past lives, reincarnation, inner child. It has everything to do with the innocence of life that is carried from life to life. If you believe in past lives or not, you carried from different scenes in this one life. If you believe we have one life, that kind of a thing. And the past repeating and igniting itself. Six of Swords, positive or travel, movement in a more positive direction. This is going toward more healing and going and with thought and heart, right? Mind and heart, because you're thinking with the swords are about thoughts, but the feeling comes with that you're going on the water. The water is the emotions, the cups. So this is the perfect marriage between your head and your heart, that you need to leave a toxic environment behind. And that segues well into the Devil, which can be about desire, drug abuse. It can also be about obsession and immoderation. This card comes directly after Temperance. Temperance is moderate. Devil is out of balance, extremes. But we remember that the gift of the dark one, the adversary, is that we get to choose. We have free will. If we don't have something less exciting or less positive to embark upon, then the point of free will is moot. So the beauty of the Devil card is that it's asking you to look at yourself as a limitless being and not put yourself in a box, thinking that you have to be controlled by your past and you have to be motivated by greed or whatever. You can heal these patterns. And the gift of free will choice is implied with the Devil card, because you know that you can always choose delight over confusion. For each card, so I immediately think of Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones, right? Isn't that? And with the Devil card, action phrase with the sixes could be celebrate togetherness, harmony, because 6 is a number of harmony. Journal a memory. A memory of mine was when I met my husband, for example. And though we're not together anymore, that doesn't mean that I view that memory with a darkness enshrouded over it. I just know that thankfully I have my daughter from that union. So that could be the decision to choose love with the Lovers. Finally, we're up to today's lesson. So the Chariot. So determination, drive, recognition, revenge. So revenge is like the darker, implied part of this. Victory, the war is implied because yes, chariots are used in battle or war. And then being a source of inspiration, being an authority, travel and movement, drive and willpower. And then in the reverse, this could just mean that you're not motivated. You need to take a rest. And that could, if you got the Four of Swords with the Chariot, that would make sense too. To show hey, just you don't need to act right here, right now. The beauty of being able to rest is that you reevaluate your priorities and what's important to you. Any thoughts on the Chariot? Any thoughts on the car that you drive and how thankful you can be for a car? Or that's implied here too. Is just to be thankful for what gets you from A to B. Okay. So let me know if you, and we'll wrap this up if we have any questions later on. Let's see. 7 of Pentacles and Earth. By the way, 7s are key spiritual type awakening or intuition type of experiences with the 7s, because 7s are like what the 5s do, but with wisdom. So the 5s are about change. The 7 is the wisdom that arises from making that choice, with the 6 as the bridge. So fives are often the challenges. 5 of Swords is like, oh no, it's a win or lose battle. The 5 of Wands is the egocentric focus. All these things, then the 6 is like, okay, I gotta make a change somehow based on the challenges that have arisen. And then the 7s are like, okay, what am I learning from these changes that I'm making? Because here, 7 of Pentacles, planning, money, enterprise, persistence, long-term success, education. Seven of Pentacles is the harvest card. You reap what you sow. Set your intentions now, right? Like we just had a new moon recently, on the 11th, and there was a new moon in Aquarius. We can set our intentions, and then we look a couple weeks later at the full moon and say, hey, oh my gosh, I manifested that because I set the intention with the lunar cycle. You don't always have to do that, but I mean, if you have something that can't wait and you want to do it, that's not necessarily in time with the moon, that's fine. But there's a potency that comes from doing these things on time with the lunar cycle. So, and whatever sign the moon is in, that will be amplifying whatever that sign is about. So Aquarius is about, like ingenuity and art and artistic work and technological advancements and advancing the age. We're in the age of Aquarius, so we're the dawning, and then now it's kind of more settled between 2012 to now. And so that kind of focus is really interesting to look at with the Seven of Pentacles, because what we sowed in the ground with the age of Pisces, with the Christian age, now with the John the Baptist age, John the Baptist being the water bearer, the baptizer. Water bearer is the key word for Aquarius. Know that essentially we are learning so much from what we sowed historically that it can be impactful for this time now. So I don't know if you guys got a warning just now that the time limit will expire. I don't know if you guys got that, but there's a do you think we can wrap up in like the next 10 minutes? Because I think we can. Is that everyone okay with that? Okay, perfect. Because I'm gonna end up purchasing the plan. I just haven't done it yet. Seven of Wands. So this is about like standing up for your truth, because look at how he's holding that wand. He's like in a defensive mode. But know that you'll remain on top. You have the advantage. You have something to covet. So the truth that you carry with you, whatever you're standing up for, that could be something that is precious to somebody else. For example, you could be inheriting money. That could be a windfall with many of the other cards, like the Ten of Pentacles is a windfall card. So maybe you're inheriting something from your uncle or who's passing away, and you have valuable information. You can stand up for that truth. You can defend that truth, because like my mom went through this. My mom, she was supposed to get X, Y, and Z from when her dad passed, and she didn't. So this kind of card, this energy is like, what needs to be done, and you're standing up for that truth, to the point that maybe you offend somebody, but it has to be said in all fairness. Okay. So, and at the bottom of the negatives, it says competitors who try to ruin your reputation. That's key. So if you look at all these tarot cards, they depict so many aspects of everyday life. It is so amazing when you work with them and you notice that. Seven of Cups, this is imagination and a lot of choices. So if you can say you're like looking at a school, or your daughter or whomever is looking at applying to college, and there are so many options out there, that's the energy of the Seven of Cups. In the positives, it says good choices made, having options, decisions you're happy with making, being in the position to choose a variety of different options. And then in the reverse, you could say it's like bad choices, but see all these cups, they have something different in each one of them. And whatever that cup promises is what will be delivered. You just have to make the right choice. And the right choice, just listen to the conversation that your mind and your heart are both having. So, for example, if I have an emotional pull toward going to, NYU or something, but my mind's like, but my boyfriend's going to be in California, then that's like a disconnect. There needs to be a reckoning, and there needs to be a harmonization with those two aspects. Because so much of the time, illness and disorder and disease may manifest in our bodies when our heart and our mind are not in sync. So that's a key with the Seven of Cups, is to join the two together and realize your vision that way. Seven of Swords. So this is the deception and lies and cheater card, but it's also, as Michelle Andres would say, is that it's a card of like stealing an idea from somebody else who's made it work very well for them and applying it to your own life or to your business. For example, I've learned some Instagram hacks on YouTube on how to grow my business the way that others have, and that could be the energy of the Seven of Swords. It doesn't have to just be like the deception card, or that somebody's like there's some, hidden dealings going on behind closed doors. It's also the card of like, hey, somebody made this work for themselves. I can use it too. I'm stealing that idea, even though it's not really stolen. It's not like it's intellectual property necessarily. So there's that. So look at that with the Seven of Swords. The Tower. So 1 + 6 is 7. So we're looking at divorce, sudden inspiration to move in a direction that is motivated by divine intervention. This could be a big thing that happens in your life, like a death, but it could also be like an epiphany. So the positives, I don't like that this is never positive. I like the Tower card because the Tower for me is saying, hey, the way that you're doing things right now is not working as well as you'd hoped. Here comes the universe now. Spirit will step in and make things happen in your life to get you more on the path of your highest and best good. So, and I love that it says, you will develop a take no shit attitude. You will become stronger than you ever were before. And I love that because the Tower is that big moment of like, what's going on? This is too sudden, but it has to happen for your growth. For each card, let's, earth, fire, water, air, look at all that. I mean, that these cards, these sevens are so like appropriate for honing your intuition. Naming the Chariot, I would call it ambition. A song maybe like moving on up from the Jeffersons, because it is about forward movement. What does Spirit want me to know? With the Tower, that I am protected, I am safe, I am guarded, I am understood, I am celebrated, that I am divinely blessed with the wisdom that's coming from this sudden, scary time. And that is one of the blessings of the Tower. I think it's really cool too that the Tower is number 16, and that reminds me of like those 16-year-old Disney princesses who are in the Tower, like it's kind of funny. And then an ly word, an adverb, like the 7 of Pentacles might be like patiently, because you're sowing those seeds. The universe always accepts what you're sowing, right? Like the garden the garden of the universe is not going to reject what you're trying to plant, and it's going to give you whatever is in the design of the seed to come forth. So if you're trying to plant a tomato seed, it's not going to give you lettuce or whatever, right? It's going to give you what's in the design in the seed. So if you're sowing doubt, that's what you will reap. But if you're sowing love and bliss and, self-motivation and self-fulfillment, then that's what the universe will deliver to you to match the vibration you are inhabiting. So, for example, if I really want a relationship, which admittedly I'd like one eventually, I've been single now for 3 years, that'd be cool. But you know what? I know that I am content in the self-love I have. The self-love, the love I have for my own self is so powerful that if somebody else were to come in and be attracted to that, he would see that I love myself so much that maybe the kind of man I would attract would be like, oh, but I love myself too. And two people can be whole together. 1 + 1 = 3. You plus the partner equals the love between you. And of course, maybe a child. 1 + 1 = 3. You and the other plus the energy that you create together, that harmony, that contentment and satisfaction in knowing that you have made a beautiful connection that will benefit the world, that you can make great changes because you are spirit embodied and the other person knows it too. And you can remind others in your work together and in your modeling of your beautiful connection together no matter what happens in life. So that's a really beautiful message that wanted to come through just now. So thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions or comments?
Wonderful, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So yeah, definitely. Anybody, Annie or no? I don't know when we're gonna get kicked off, but I'm excited to be able to afford to purchase this for longer because I think the last couple of times I've done this Tarot Tuesdays, it's given me an extended option. Oh, less than 1 minute. Okay, so please continue. We'll be back here at 4 o'clock next week. Okay.
For sure.
Thank you so much, and
Thank you.
visit Ellen Enchantment Divinations. I'll put that in the chat.
Okay,
And
Thank you.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ellen.
yeah,
Thank you.
definitely. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I love spending time with you.
Well, thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm
Bye.
inspired by you.
Bye.
Bye.
Yes, oh, it's still going off. It's still going on. Well,
Less than 1 minute, it says.
yeah. I don't know.